this up. Fire that up. And we are on. Welcome back to the show, folks. This is a David C. Hutto show, and it is Schmucky Wednesday. Right? Or what would you call today?
That is correct.
Schmucky Wednesday. Back with Dave and Jay.
It's hump day.
Yeah, it's definitely hump day.
For those of you who work and don't mind doing so.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you who don't work, well, it's just another day.
For those of you who don't live with your mothers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And don't sit down in a dark and damp basement.
Yes.
With names like Uncle Pervy and write meaningless notes to meaningless
talk show hosts.
And give not very flattering comments, but all pretty much vague formalities.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what your life is.
Wow, huh? Yeah. So,
I was unaware that dead people could roll over in their graves. Call me crazy, but man.
I don't think they can.
Call me crazy with a K.
I don't think they can, because isn't it true that these atheists just say that they get eaten up by worms and
well, we had comments posted by our libertarian friend.
Yes.
Who doesn't agree with our approach.
Yeah. And why is that, sir? Is it because we're not doing the Rush Limbaugh thing? Ooh, Democrats bad, Republicans good.
Well, he's a libertarian.
Right.
Supposedly, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I think that's somebody who isn't sure if they want chocolate or vanilla, but they may like strawberry.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they may like
We appreciate the comments, by the way.
Yeah. And you're always welcome to listen to the show anytime, day or night.
Even if they are vague and they don't contain any valid points about anything, other than a few little mindless insults.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's okay. We can do mindless insults.
Oh, yeah. We're good at that.
We're good at metaphors, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so what are we going to talk?
But it's people like you who are dangerous to this country.
Yeah.
My good man.
Of course, he would argue that, but.
Well, he said in his comment,
yeah.
The founding fathers must be rolling in their graves. They should have put an amendment in there to
keep idiots off the air.
Keep morons from talking, or
something like that.
It's Nazi-loving fools like yourself who are dangerous to society in general with your grand ideas and your educated minds.
Oh, yes.
So
using big words like nuance.
Well, that was that other guy. He was kind of a...
Yeah, crazy 44.
He was a twerp, and you already know he was...
Yeah, we already spent too much time on him. It's like... It's like, why bother? I mean, it's like we're wasting precious air out of our lungs.
Well, I just like to answer the questions, but there's no real debating points with either one of them.
Yeah.
Other than not agreeing with our approach, what's your approach?
Yeah.
Just sit around and write comments?
Yeah, on a local blog site in your underwear.
Never really put yourself out there and say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Except
that
your
mom might catch you down in the basement.
Oh, yeah, or,
doing who knows what.
Yeah.
Uncle Jeb.
Yeah. What can I say?
You can tiptoe around the tulips as much as you want and be a politically correct hack.
Yeah.
Which is what you are. You're a coward and a hack. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what you are. Do you have a job?
Probably.
Do you pay taxes? Or are you just a little welfare junkie who lives in your mom's basement?
Might be on unemployment.
How many sons do you have?
Yeah, that's
How many
a good
set
question.
of cojones have your cojones produced? That's what I want to know. If you can bring me a number above 0, then my respect for you will be raised just slightly.
Yeah, it's kind of like JJ pursuing his hunt of the cougars. That's another topic in itself right there. I mean, we could do just a whole show alone on this guy.
So, we appreciate all your comments, Uncle JG.
Yes. J.G. Wentworth.
Oh, did you hear that?
J.G. Wentworth.
Oh, Uncle Jay, I think your mommy's calling you. Dinner time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or is that your wife? I don't know.
Put the comic book down. Stop playing World of Warcraft.
Yep. And no more Fukinol. No more Fukinol for you, sir.
Okay, so on to the news.
Yes, on to the news.
Let's do some news.
Yes, definitely.
What do we got here? Bank stuff.
Yeah.
Greece is
screwed.
Greek default.
Yeah.
Priced at 1 trillion euros. 1 trillion euros.
Can you imagine that, folks? I mean, that's like...
It really has become funny money or monopoly money.
Yeah, it's not, a trillion. I mean, does anybody even have a concept how big that is?
If you had $1 trillion dollars in cash, that'd be pallets and pallets full of cash. I mean, that's like a warehouse full of cash.
I think what they said with our national debt, it would stack up so high, it'd be like the Great Wall of China, just made out of cash.
Well, that's a lot of cash for Greece.
Yeah, that's insane. Closing.
What do you expect when you only work 26 hours a week?
Yeah, it comes down to that whole point of these guys sitting in their underwear on the blog sites.
I'll bet Uncle Jay doesn't even believe in the international banksters. To him, it's probably just a conspiracy theory.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, he probably thinks drugs should be legalized. That would be a good idea too.
Well, yeah. Hey, if we're gonna
guess what? They are.
Yeah. If we're gonna legalize drugs, then we should be allowed to carry the same kind of weapons the military does. If the military has nukes, we should be allowed to have nukes, right? If you're a libertarian, then that would be appropriate.
Wow.
Or if they have a tank.
See, we don't know what the libertarian's view is on anything, because all he does is say things like, you got a face for radio, but no brains to match it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Pip. Yes, I'm so educated. I'm nuanced.
Oh, very, very well. Very well. So we've got the Greek thing looming.
Yes, closing bell, Greek debt default fears, markets tumbling. Well, what did you say about that like 3 months ago? I remember we were talking about this at work, and you said that if Greece goes, then everything else.
Well, it's going to be it'll be a domino effect, and that's what they want. That's how you get control.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. Oil is the new Greece.
5 banks, the 5 top banks in the United States.
Yeah.
Control 95% of everything, of all the money flow.
Yeah. So oil is the new Greece, says HSBC chief economist.
HSBC, that's one of the 5 largest banks, along with
yep.
J.P. Morgan, and Chase, and all those. But it's just one big bubble getting ready to burst, folks.
Yeah.
I hope you've prepared.
Yeah, and if you haven't, well, there are people out there that'll help you, but don't think it's a good idea to try to raid and pillage their shit, because they are prepared, and they will just shoot you. Well, instead of give you a nice hot meal in the shower.
Watch the Doomsday Preppers show. I bet you see some wild characters on that.
Oh, man, and these guys...
I haven't watched it, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing else on Sunday nights,
well,
other than, the 2% Church channel, where you can see Joel Osteen smile at you and sell a new book.
He does sell a lot of books.
Yeah, he does. I mean... God bless him. I mean, he does have a ministry and everything, but 2%.
Yeah, I don't know about his ministry or him.
Yeah. So, suburban New York County declares emergency. Gee, maybe it's because of the economic crisis looming. Ever think about that? Because I tried to go to the page, and they pulled the story off. So, obviously, this emergency is non-existent.
Well, they don't want to scare people.
Jury convicts R. Allen Stanford of investor fraud. Well, this guy just looks like a fat schmuck.
It's always the little guys that take the fall.
Yeah. It's never the big guys. It's never the George Soroses
Or the
of the world.
Bernanke's.
Yeah. It's never any of those. It's never any of the trillionaires sitting in the banking world. Okay, Greeks moved billions from local bank accounts to the UK. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get all their money out before Big Sis comes in and takes it all. You know?
That'll cause the fall just a little bit quicker.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you're basically hitting this fast forward button.
Could we see a Greek bank holiday by March 20th?
Yeah. I see one by the end of the week, honestly, at the rate they're going.
Well, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see what happens here.
Yes. And then you've got Dr. Doom. Dr. Evil. Or Dr. Doom. I don't know this guy. He must be one of these, profiteering hacks. I don't know. But he says that Iran-Israeli clash says to buy precious metals. We've been saying this now for what? 2 years? I know Glenn Beck has at least 2 years to buy precious metals. You've been saying that to me for 2 years.
Well, I remember when gold was $450 an ounce, like in about 2001.
Shit, I remember it was like 300.
Well, in the Clinton era, it was.
Yeah.
It was I think it was under 300 briefly in the mid 90s, and then it's just been a steady climb upwards since then.
Yeah.
To where it is now.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of doing this up and down thing, which is.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy.
That's a sign.
That's a sign right there.
To all you intelligent people out there.
Yeah. It says political risk in the Middle East has increased significantly with war between Iran and Israel.
And Dr. Doom is this guy Faber. He does the, it's the, what do they call it? The boom, gloom, and doom report or whatever.
Yeah.
The gloom, boom, and doom.
Yeah.
And I've read his reports from time to time, but.
Seems like kind of a spooky guy. He's always dressed in black. He
was a Swiss money manager, so.
Yeah. Seems kind of spooky to me.
He probably could tell you some stories.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yes, the Swiss.
He looks like
nice Germans.
He looks like a troubled man.
Very, very. He probably doesn't sleep well at night.
Yeah, how could you?
No, you couldn't. Iran seeking to build a nuclear weapon, warns David Cameron. Well, let me tell you.
Thanks for the heads up there, buddy.
Yeah, Dave, I hate to break the bad news to you, but I heard yesterday on True News, this very same network we're getting this news story from, that they already detonated one in North Korea. So they already have it.
I seem to remember news reports back in 2004 and 2005, before the media got completely tight-lipped.
Yeah, numptified.
Communist-controlled.
Yeah.
They were saying in 2004, Iran was 5 years from having the bomb. And then there was the mysterious tests in North Korea in 2010.
Yeah.
And a lot of people speculated that was probably what was going on now. And then we hear that their uranium levels, their output has tripled just in the early months of this year. Well, that's a good sign that they already have one and they've tested one and they're making some more.
Yes, exactly. So just be ready for that, folks. It could be 5,000 degrees and rising in one of our cities.
How about the rash of assassinations in Iran of their nuclear scientists being offed at an alarming rate?
Yeah, well, what about all the people that disagree with Obama and various other elements getting offed in this country at an interesting rate, too? Like
the whole thing, how Rush got involved, if that was even involved, because he was good friends with Breitbart.
Yeah, Breitbart. Yes.
So that'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yes, and
but the way it seems now is it's just going to get swept under the rug.
Oh, of course. And they're going to talk about Tina Turner's thighs or something on the media now.
Or how Whitney Houston could have been saved, and
yes,
it was such a tragedy.
Yes.
How many millions of people in this country overdose on drugs, and how many die every day of drug overdoses, accidental or whatever?
Yes. So we're coming up on a hard break. We'll be right back in a few
I think we should
seconds.
have a show dedicated to